long time before colonialism, long before modern technologies, there were men and women who spoke things that should have been impossible to know. King ignored them, colonizer laughed at them, but the history proved every single one of them right. Here is a top 10 African prophecy that come true for the world to watch. Even some people don't understand. I'm going to list top 10. Let us start from 10. Number 10 is Zulu, the prophecies of Imalajani in 1850, before British arrived in full force in Southern Africa. The Xhosa prophet named Imalajani warned his people, stranger will come from the sea. They will bring you pond that speak like thunder. They will take your land and make you a stranger in your own land. Their tribesmen dismiss it as a mad. Within 20 years, the British has done exactly that. Size Zohala and destroyed their cattle economy and reduce their price of unity people to labor on their own ancestral land. Mejane died before it happened, but he saw the details. Number 9 is Kimpa Vita and the falling of Congo in 1706. The donor beat Kimpa Vita was a Congolese prophet who named the kingdom leader that their vision and their independence on European trader will destroy them within. She said he have that invite strangers to settle its argument to one day wake up and find a stranger on the house. The Congolese nobility had her born as stag for hasting at age of 22 within 200 years, and the kingdom of Congo had completely collapsed, torn apart by exactly the internal division and European manipulation we had described. Some people don't know about this. Now, number 8, the Nigeria prophecy of Oduduwa's return. This is Yoruba oral tradition. Ancient Yoruba oral tradition carry a prophecy that one day there is canal of those taken across water will return to their land ancestry, bringing them strange and clothes and strange tongue and strange belief. But that on damnate, they still carry the blood with living. When they free slave from Brazil and Sierra Leone, begin returning to Lagos and Yoruba land in 80s, speaking Portuguese and English, wearing Victorian clothes, practicing Christian, the elders of Ife recognized it immediately. They called them Saro and Abuda. The prophecy had name for them before even arrived. Some people don't know about this. Now, let us go to number 7, the Muringa and the Zimbabwe liberation, the Shona prophecy. The Shona people of Zimbabwe carried for generation a prophecy about a spiritual name, Muranga or Mungaya or Munemhanga, who even one day rise and killed by a colonizer, but whose bone will rise again to lead final liberation. In 1898, the spiritual magia of Nahanda, Chawa and Yakansinga led the major horse operation against British colonial. She was captured and hanged. Her report last word were, "My bone will rise." 70 years later, the Zimbabwe Liberation War began. The freedom fighter called themselves the children of Nahanda. Her image was carried into bottle. Her prophecy took place in 70 years but came true especially as a spoken. Number 6, the Ethiopian prophecy of Adawa in 1896. Before the Battle of Adawa, where Ethiopia became the only African nation to defeat Nubia, including that army, especially Ethiopian prince and holy men who prophesied that God will deliver the white army into Ethiopian hand on their specific date. If Emperor Malik had trust in the ancient covenant, Malik advised or told me that Italian army was too modern, too armed. The prophecy say otherwise. On March 118, Ethiopia may deploy Italian army completely. That remain one of the most shocking military offsets in history. The priest said it will happen, and it happened exactly as he said it. Number 5, the Igubian and the end of African kingdom. This Mozambique in 1895. The last great king of Gaza Empire in Mozambique had a royal diner who told him clearly that white men cannot be defeated with spear alone. We fight them with only what we have, and we lose everything. And our kingdom, our cattle, our children's name. Mugandanya ignored the warning and went to war with Portuguese. He was captured and exiled to the Azor in Iceland and died there. His kingdom was dissolved. These people's names were changed in colonial records. The diviner warning was practiced. The kingdom pride was more powerful than his prophecy. So people don't know all these things. Now, number four is Igbo prophecy of foreign religion, pre-colonial. Igbo oral tradition preserve a prophecy attributed to ancient Aro oracle. That one day a new ghost will come from across the waters. This ghost will have no face, no mask, no dancing. His priests will wear black in heat of sun, and this god will tell the people their own gods were evil, and many believe it. When Christian missionaries arrived in eastern Nigeria in 1880s, wearing black cassocks in typical heat, carrying a faceless, invisible god, and telling communities to burn their ancestral shrine, and the elders of Arochukwu say quietly among themselves, this is the only one they told us about. China Chebe captured this exact moment in things fall apart. Some people don't know. And number three is prophets Notentia Nkwenkwe. Ntankwenkwe of South Africa in 1816 during the Spanish flu pandemic that killed 6 million across Africa. A Zoha's woman named Notante Nkwenkwe began receiving visions. She prophesied that the sickness was punishment for abandoning Africa's spiritual identity. She warned that more suffering will come in, that the land will be taken completely, that Africa will be made to carry papers to move in their own country, and the great struggle will follow before freedom came. The government had committed a mental asylum for 18 years. Every single thing prophesied came truth after it happened exactly as he described it, including the passing of forcing a black South African to carry identity document to move freely. She died in asylum in 1935. A prophecy activated her. You understand? Number two, the Shakahuni and the boiling of land. This again in South Africa, 18th. The great Bapati king Shakahuni had a royal seer who made the prophecy so that a peaceful will sound impossible. He said, one day men will come who will make the land itself boil and burn the flows like water. From this burning, they will become richer than any king that ever lived, while the people whose land is burned will still have nothing in 1880s. Gold was discovered in Winter's hand. The entire modern economy of South Africa was built on that gold. The men who owned the mine became wealthiest human on earth. The black African communities on whose ancestral house was founded were displayed. They impoverished and eventually subject to appetite. The land spoiled exactly as said. The last one is Nigeria prophecy of TB Joshua. In 1990s to 2020s, we said we end the most controversial one. TB Joshua, Nigeria's most famous and most debated prophet, made a serious specific prophecy that we are recorded and date and public documents before the eventual encore. In 2011, he prophesied that eight of the sitting presidents of federal states, the details March death of a Ethiopian Berlin Navy in 2012. In the 2014, he prophesied the building collapse in his own church. A days later, the Jesus house at his synagogue church collapsed, killing 116 people. Most shocking, in 2015, he published prophesied that woman will win American presidential election. When Clinton lost, he came back and said the prophet is still true that the woman vice president will come. In 2020, Hillary Clinton had become the vice president of the United States, whenever believe in his or if or not. The timestamp of those prophecies exist. They are on YouTube. You can check it by yourself. So I want you to read this book and understand what Africa serve before religion.